Welcome to Crosstalk Solutions. My name's Chris, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new ViewPort for UniFi Protect. This is model number ufp-viewport, and this retails for $199 MSRP. What this device does is it allows you to take cameras from UniFi Protect and display them on an HDMI screen at up to 4K 30 frames per second. So let's get this thing opened up and we will take a look at how it works with UniFi Protect. Okay, so here's the device itself. Let me get this plastic off. It's a good looking device. So we'll set this aside right now and let's take a look at what else comes in the box. We have sort of a quick start guide as well as some sort of sticky back stuff. This must be for some sort of mounting. Yeah, and then we have this holder. I guess it just slides in there like that. That's pretty cool. So you can screw this into the wall, and then the viewport just slides down like so. And then it also comes with an HDMI premium certified cable. We have a PoE in on top that says main, and then we have a secondary port on the back. Now, I don't think this is PoE out, but it would allow you to supply network connectivity to an auxiliary device if you wanted to. Also on the bottom, we have an HDMI port, and then on the back of the device, we have our little reset hole. Really solid device. All right, let me plug this thing in. We're gonna hook it up to this monitor right here. Now, this isn't a 4K monitor. This is just a standard high definition monitor, but it will work just fine for our purposes, and 4K wouldn't come across on YouTube anyways. All right, HDMI is plugged in. Now let's get our power going. I'm gonna try to power this off a US 860 watt, which sometimes has trouble powering higher power requirement devices. It's 802.3 AF, so we'll see if this actually works here. I do show a PoE link, and there we go. We have a light, and it's blinking white and blue at the moment. We'll give it a second. Let's see if something comes up on the monitor. I really don't even know how this thing works or how you set it up. I should probably, I guess, read the manual. Oh, no, I take that back. Look at that. We've got a ubiquity thing showing up on the screen. Boy, that screen's dirty. Let me wipe that off. How easy that is to see, but there is a Ubiquiti logo on the screen. It looks like this thing is booting up and it says welcome. Oh, that's really cool. Connect your Protect viewpoint to the same network your controller device is on via Ethernet cable. We can see down here we have the device name as well as the MAC address and the IP address of the device. And then it says once connected, you can adopt this Protect viewpoint using UniFi Protect via the web or the mobile app. So let's go ahead and fire up the mobile app and do it that way. All right, connecting to Protect now. It's taking longer than usual to get into Protect, so I don't know if it's just thinking or what. All right, there we go. All right, so what's new? Okay, we're not gonna worry about that. Let's see if we can find this device. So I did add element, but it's not listed under the elements. Let's close that out. I wonder if my controller is not up to date. Either the app or the controller itself. Let's see if I have any updates. So we'll start with the app first. I'm on app version 1.3.8. Nope, I have the latest version of the app. All right, so I'm gonna switch over to my computer and see if I can't see it in the UniFi Protect on the desktop and perhaps see if there are some updates available for UniFi Protect that are preventing it from seeing this viewport. Okay, so I moved the whole setup over here and I have UniFi Protect running on my desktop. And if I come over here and say add devices, the viewport is found, right? So I don't know, again, it didn't work with the app, or at least I wasn't able to find where you could add the viewport via the UniFi Protect app, but it is showing up in the UniFi Protect GUI here on my desktop. So we're gonna click, the name is fine, we're just gonna say add devices. And one new device has been added. Oh, look at that, wow. So I immediately clicked on it and it just started popping up my cameras just like that. Now I only have 4 cameras, so let's click on the viewport here and see if we can, okay, then you can select your view. Okay, that's easy. Let's look at our general settings. It's just the name, and then manage allows us to reboot it or delete it out of here. So there's really not much to this thing, but you have to create a predefined view for the viewpoint. And then you basically just assign that view to the viewpoint. So let's do a view. I don't have, oh, it's actually updating right now. Well, so it's also automatically updating. I did not click an update button, but it is updating. While it's updating, let's go ahead and click my views. We're going to edit, we're going to add a view, and we're going to call this viewport. And we'll just do a 4-camera view, because again, I only have 4 cameras hooked up right now. So we'll say next, and then we'll drag and drop my cameras on here. And now let's go back to the viewport. And I'm just going to wait for it to finish updating, because I don't want to make any changes while it's doing an update. Now it's much later in the night, but the update didn't actually take that long. The update only took about 5 minutes, and now we have our camera streams up and running. And I wanted to get as many cameras as possible connected to Protect in order to test this thing properly. So here we have a 4-camera view. If you go into UniFi Protect and then you see the viewport right here, we can click on it, and basically the only thing that we can do here is change our camera view. So you can go into live views, you can set up all of the different types of camera views that you want, and then you simply come over here, click on viewport, and then select which live view you want to display. So for instance, all cameras is a dynamically generated view that's going to show all the cameras. As soon as I click it, you can see that it has switched and I have 8 cameras currently online. Here's one that I set up specifically for the viewport with just 4 cameras. Then here's another one that I set up that is just my 4K camera. This is the G4 Pro 4K camera. Honestly, looks pretty nice on this screen. This isn't even a 4K screen, but this is a really great view of this camera. And then let's look at one more view, which is kind of interesting. If I click on the 8-camera view, here we can see I have 3 larger size cameras and then one sort of set of 4 cameras down here. Here's the interesting thing though. This is the 8-camera view. Now this one in the bottom left-hand corner, I set it up. Let's look at this in UniFi Protect. So if I look at this same view in UniFi Protect, notice this bottom left corner is going to start switching between 2 of the different cameras. I have it set to transition every 5 seconds between those 2 cameras. Now notice though, through the viewport, if you have it set up to transition based on motion or based on time between multiple cameras, it doesn't appear that the viewport transitions at all. And again, maybe this is something that they will fix, but that's kind of a bug that I found. If you wanted to have a camera view where like all 4 of these cameras were switching between, 2 sets of 4 bigger pictures, it doesn't appear that you can do that with the viewport, at least not yet. In terms of temperature, the viewport's not getting that warm. Let me see if I can get a measurement. It's definitely warm to the touch, but I wouldn't call it hot. And so it's 106 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's pretty warm, but not really hot. So that's it. There's really not much to say about this device. I guess the pros of this device are, number one, it's so easy to set up. This is dead simple to set up and get working. So if you just want to have a number of your cameras displayed on a TV screen somewhere in your office, literally you can have this set up and running in 10 minutes and it'll be working just fine. So I really love the ease of use and the ease of deployment for this viewport. I spoke a little bit earlier in the video about the Raspberry Pi surveillance monitor that I have sitting on my desk. It's right below my monitor right here where I can keep an eye on like 4 of these cameras. And that's a great little project. It was relatively inexpensive to do that whole project, but the learning curve was tremendous, right? So the reason I like the ease of use of this is because there's no learning curve. You just plug it in, adopt it into UniFi, and tell it which view you want it to display, and you're done. Right? Whereas that Raspberry Pi, I spent hours and hours and hours fiddling with that thing, trying to get it to work properly, and then ultimately made a video on it. But yeah, I mean, you think about the amount of time invested in something like that Raspberry Pi surveillance project versus just, forking out $200 for this viewport. I mean, I might have to go for the viewport, especially if it's for a customer of mine, right? I wouldn't want to fiddle around with a Raspberry Pi for a customer deployment. Like, this is a really solid customer product, which I absolutely love about the thing. As far as cons go for this product, there's just the one sort of bug that I found. Actually, I guess two sort of bugs that I found. Number one, it doesn't seem to have the ability to rotate the camera view when you have multiple cameras on a single section of your live view. So that's, again, a bug which seems like it might be easy enough to fix in a future firmware update. Oh, look, just switched over to night mode. And then the other thing was that it doesn't appear to show up in UniFi, in the UniFi app at all, right? So I was never able, even after I got it installed through the UniFi Protect GUI, it still doesn't show up in the UniFi Protect app as a device that I can manipulate. Now, it did say on the welcome screen that you could configure it with the UniFi Protect app, but again, that just might be something that is going to be coming like in a future version of the Protect app. And I did check, I'm on the latest version, so it's just not here yet. If I had a wish list for this device, number one, it would be great, of course, if the camera scenes would actually rotate if you wanted them to rotate. The other wish list that I think would make this a really, really cool device is that it's very static, right? So you basically set this up with your view, you put it up on a monitor, and that's it. It would be amazing if they could do some sort of touchscreen integration with this, where if you had a touchscreen monitor, you could, like, you know, tap one of the images and make it full screen, and then, you know, tap it again and bring it back to the view that it had previously. Like, that would be spectacular. But so far, I don't see anything like that, and I don't even know how they would implement something like that. You'd have to, I guess, maybe have a list of compatible touchscreen devices or something like that that it has been tested with. But that would probably be the number one thing that I would love to see with this device. Because I think about it as, if I'm monitoring my cameras, and especially for some of these like smaller ones down here, if I see something that catches my interest, I'd love to just be like, oh, what is that? Hit the button, or, you know, hit the screen, and that one becomes the focus, becomes full screen. That would be wonderful. Other than that, I think this is a really great product. This is like one of my favorite products from Ubiquiti in a long time, and mostly just because of how dead simple it was to set up. Alright, so let me know down below what you guys think about the UFP Viewpoint from Ubiquiti Networks. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on it. Is there anything that you'd like me to test with this device, since I already have it hooked up right here? Let me know that all down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please click subscribe. My name's Chris with Crosstalk Solutions, and thank you so much for watching.